everyone, welcome back. Today you get just me. Riley is at Army Drill, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to sit down and talk through all things wedding planning and my tips from both wedding planner and as someone who's planned her own wedding. So going into this season of planning our wedding, I thought it would be a piece of cake. I can handle timelines and vendor communications and all the logistics in my sleep. But what I wasn't prepared for was the emotional responsibility and weight that you feel as a bride to really put on an event that feels like a performance for your loved ones. You want to pour your heart and your soul into it, and it can take a lot out of you. So today I'm sharing my top tips and tricks with you from both wedding planner perspective and as a bride. I want your wedding planning season to truly be one of the best times of your life and thought I'd share what I've learned. So here we go.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you.
Okay, for some context, Riley and I, from our engagement to our wedding day, had 54 weeks, so just a year and 2 weeks change. But I started planning ahead of time because I knew that this engagement season would be coming. Right before that, I already started researching venues, started looking at themes, colors that I wanted, things like that. The first 2 months of our engagement was when I did a lot of the work. It was in a slower season of work for me, so I wanted to get as much done as possible, and I do recommend that for a lot of couples. You don't want to do the bulk of the work all in 1 month, or especially at the end, so try to space it out a bit. We right up front booked the top things that were important to us, so venue, photographer, videographer. Our venue came with DJ and catering, so if yours doesn't, book those too. Those really form the core of your day and are the foundation of your entire event. After those are booked, everything else in my mind is just the cherry on top. Those are the extra details that definitely make the wedding day greater, but you have the core of your day after you have those. In the months after that, that's when we focused on the smaller details of decor, florals, asking our bridesmaids and groomsmen, getting dresses, focusing on alterations and things like that. The last 3 months are always the busiest. That is when you finalize timeline. You have multiple meetings with different vendors in your venue, locking things down. You have your alterations getting done, your hair and makeup trials for the girls, and just really all the last minute details. You have your RSVPs coming in, you're answering questions, you are finalizing honeymoon logistics, starting to pack, putting decor boxes together. So the middle months between where you book the bulk of your vendors and then the last final details, that's when you really finalize the vision of your day. All right, my top tip number 1 for couples in wedding planning season. Please focus on your budget. I have a lot of couples that go into weddings with very strict budgets, or some that go into and they're like, whatever happens, happens. My highest recommendation is to assign a dollar amount per category. So that is your venue, your food, your cake, your music, your attire, stationery, so invitations, save the dates. Assign a dollar amount per category. And don't do that blindly. Research what the trends are in your area and figure out what that could cost. And then be intentional. Set aside extra money in your budget to flex and flow with your day. Because as you book vendors, there may be one that's a little bit higher than what you budgeted. If that's something that's important to you, use that extra money and bump that one up, or maybe lower another category down. You always want to figure out what items you want to save or splurge on. In my opinion, there's different items that typically fall in those categories, but each couple's gonna have their own. So venue, in my opinion, is always a splurge. The venue sets the tone of your day. Other splurges are food. If you want a dance party, okay, get DJ or great music. The ones that you can save on typically are florals or decor or stationery. There's different ways you could DIY projects and really get your day to fit your vision, but without spending an arm and a leg on it. You want to focus on what you want your guests to walk away from your wedding with, and those are the items that you want to splurge on more. So if your goal is to have a dance party for your guests, okay, splurge on live music. If you really want them to just have a good evening of food and drink, splurge on the catering and the bar company. But other than that, you really do just want to focus on what is emotionally important to you, and that's what you also want to splurge on. All right. Tip number 2. I get this question a lot. How do you get a Pinterest wedding without a Pinterest budget? So my first thing is I love Pinterest. This is my holy grail of wedding planning and what I used for our wedding, as well as what I reference a lot for weddings that I plan with clients. However, it is very well known that a lot of these photos on Pinterest are styled shoots. They are carefully edited and curated photos, or the ones featured are from people who have unlimited budgets. So it is very hard to get that look on your wedding day with a very realistic budget. So how do you do that? My recommendation is that you focus on what you want the most. Let's say you want, in a Pinterest picture, they have flowers and candles everywhere. That's great. But if you don't have the budget for flowers, how do you do that? All right, well, the candles are pretty cheap to get. Let's put the candles everywhere and put a couple of bud vases through the space. So it's all about maximizing what you can. In my opinion, it's better to do one focal area, like let's say the sweetheart table, with a couple pieces of floral and decor throughout the space versus medium to large floral centerpieces everywhere. It does flow the decor style and the vibe through the space without you spending an arm and a leg. I also think if you're going for an elegant look, less is more. Guests tend to remember how they feel on the day, and if your table is covered in flowers and decor and your guests don't have room to put their drinks or phones down, that does impact their experience and takes away from the elegance feel of it. Lighting is absolutely everything. It doesn't matter how many pieces of floral or decor you have, lighting sets the mood for everything, whether you have real flame candles, LED candles, or even accent lighting on the walls, so up lighting, or lights on the ceilings through the space. That does set the tone for your day and just looks so beautiful in photos. Pick a theme and stick to it. A lot of couples have so many colors that they want and they want to try to include it everywhere they go. But less is more, remember. So to get that really curated, elegant Pinterest style look, pick your colors early and stick to it. Even pick the fonts that you want and keep that consistent through all of your stationery, invitations, and signage. You want some pops of color? Great, but don't put it everywhere. Let's figure out good areas to put that and continue the color palette in a way that feels cohesive and intentional, not very scattered. And that's where we come in. Either us, if you hire us, or whoever your planner or coordinator is, or a trusted person to help you with decor will help you see that as well. Okay, my next big tip. Prepare for the emotional weight. This is not something that I fully expected or prepared for, but there is a lot of weight on you when you're planning a wedding because it's not just a dinner party or an event. This is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. You get to celebrate marrying the love of your life, and you have every single person that means something to you in that room. You want to give them a good experience while also enjoying the day yourself and getting memories from the day and beautiful pictures. So how does that happen? That's what I've struggled with the most during this wedding planning season. Every little decision that maybe 2 years ago I would have been like, oh yeah, just go with that stationery design versus this one, now feels so much heavier because it does set the tone for your day. And when you are in charge of deciding those things, it's very hard to step out of the mindset of it being so heavy. So it does feel weighty. So how do you help this? Figure out which items and decisions make sense for you to handle versus to delegate. So for me personally, I didn't fully care about how the cake looked. I just knew I wanted a bundt cake and white icing, which they already do, and I don't care where the flowers go. So I gave that to my coordinator and she's in charge of that. But to me, the most important piece was how our sweetheart table looked. So I did spend extra time on that, making a mock-up picture of the decor and making a list and a special box for all of the decor. That was something that was important to me, so I spent the extra time on. So figure out how to delegate your time the most. We don't want you spending your stress and your energy on every single decision for this wedding. Lean on each other as fiancés, figure out who in your bridal party or your family can help too. Whoever you trust to help make decisions for you, lean on them. People mean well and they want to help, so take them up on it. I didn't expect this season to also be so exhausting. There's a lot of work to be done and a lot of decisions to make, and if you're not careful, it's easy every night when you get home from work to jump into wedding planning mode. It's everywhere you go. Personally, I get a lot of thoughts and questions and opinions about our wedding from literally everyone, family and friends who are at the wedding, coworkers and my hairstylists who aren't. Anybody that you talk to is so excited for you and has an opinion about your day, which is great, and they do mean well. But it's also not your responsibility to enact everything that they say and take that weight on. So I've learned to respond with grace through the season of showing appreciation, because it does come from a very well-meaning place. So thank you so much. That's something I haven't thought of. We'll take that in consideration. And if they keep pushing you on it and asking if you're gonna do it, say, hey, you know what? We're gonna talk about this. We want our wedding to feel most like us, and we're gonna see if that fits into our day. A sentence as simple as that, nobody can really argue with. And if they do, maybe there's a reason they're not on your list for the wedding. Protect your peace. The biggest piece of advice that I give to my brides is to schedule nothing nights. So as I said, it gets so easy for every spare moment you have to go towards wedding, or a lot of times couples have multiple changes at once. For us, as we're planning the wedding, I moved. I have another couple who they just bought a house. There's multiple things going on, and if you're not careful, all of your free time goes to house preparations or wedding. So schedule nothing nights. These can be together as fiancés or separate, but just do stuff that fills your cup, brings you joy, whether it's reading a book or watching a movie, going out on a date night, and no wedding talk, no house talk, just enjoy being together. It's good to give your brain a reset and reset your emotional energy and stress from everything too. If I could summarize all of this and everything that I've learned in this process as both a wedding planner and as a bride, it's enjoy this process and take it easy. Be gentle with yourself and with your fiance, and respect your emotional boundaries and your mindset too. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed or just buried by stress and burnt out through this process. This is the happiest time of your life. Protect your peace, protect your relationship, and lean on each other through this. This is a great season to grow closer to one another as you step into marriage, so lean on each other through that. At the end of the day, your guests won't remember which candle is perfect or how that linen looks draped with this color. They're going to remember how you guys are treating each other on their wedding day and how you feel on the day. So if you're stressed, it does show. But if you're happy and relaxed and are just soaking in the moment, your guests will take that away, and that'll be the memory that they have from your wedding day. And that'll mean so much more to them. So that is a brief little summary of things that I've learned from a wedding planner and as a bride. I hope you guys are enjoying your wedding planning season. Any questions that you have, please feel free to send to us. We would love to get to support you through this, and we wish you all the best with all your wedding planning endeavors too. Next time you'll see both Riley and I back together again. We are less than a month out from our wedding, so things are about to get crazy, but we're so excited to take you guys along on that journey and share each of these moments with you.